So today I'm going to be showing you how to replace your front wheel hub assembly or wheel bearing on a Chevrolet Cavalier, and to my understanding this also works for a Pontiac Sunfire. So let's take a look.
Hey guys, I'm Jordan and you're watching Fixbook. After watching this video, your car problems stand about as much a chance as this laptop does against my hot Hyundai. Now, make sure you stay tuned so you can see what happened to the laptop at the end of this video. And as always, don't forget to subscribe, like, and leave a comment down below.
Okay guys, and here's the tools I use for today's project. It's an electric impact, but any impact will work. Or you just basically need a breaker bar 19mm to remove your lug nuts. I also got a flathead screwdriver, 32-ounce hammer. You'll definitely need a torque wrench. You'll need a T55 Torx bit or star bit. I got an electric ratchet, but a regular ratchet will work. Also, I use a longer extended 3/8 ratchet with a 3/8 hex or Allen socket there, so you can do that as well. I got an extension here and a 30mm deep well socket. You're gonna need one of those as well. Again, it's got to be deep well, shallow 30mm, not gonna work deep well. You gotta have that. Anti-seize is also helpful. Of course, you'll want to do wheel hub assembly or wheel bearing. So with all that said, we'll go ahead and begin today's project. Almost forgot, of course, you'll need a jack and jack stands as well. Okay guys, now the first thing you'll do is go ahead and lift up your car. If you look right underneath there in the middle, first thing you'll see is a plastic piece. Right beyond the plastic piece, if you reach up and feel behind there, is a real steady metal bar. You can kind of lift up. It's not like a cylindrical bar, but it's kind of like a triangular like that. So you can go ahead and lift up on the center of that so you can lift both sides up. Then you're gonna take your jack stands, reach under there, and you see a body piece, a big solid metal body piece. Stick your jack stand under there, so we're making sure that today we do a safe project. Okay guys, and the next thing we're going to want to do here is we're going to want to remove this wheel. We've got 19mm lug nuts, so I'm just going to go ahead and zap these guys off. And then we'll just set our wheel off to the side. Okay guys, and the next thing we gotta do here is remove this caliper so we can take our rotor off. And to do that, you're gonna take your ratchet and your 3/8 drive hex socket, and you're gonna break these two guys loose. And there you go, and you'll remove these two fasteners. I'm just gonna zip mine off, and then we'll be able to take this guy off. And also, we're gonna wanna take a flathead screwdriver, and we're gonna reach right back in there, and we're gonna pry. And what we're doing there is we're compressing the piston, so now this guy will be a little bit more loose, so it'll allow us to just kind of pull this guy off instead of fighting that force that's between the pistons and the brake pads. Okay guys, and I zipped them out, and they're just gonna kind of stick out like that. You're not gonna actually remove them all the way off. And since you use your flathead screwdriver there, it'll be easier to get this guy off. And just kind of rock him back and forth, and then we're gonna set him right on top right there, and he'll be out of our way when we're doing the rest of our stuff. Now we'll just grab this rotor right here, pull him off, and set him off to the side. Alright guys, now the next thing we have to do is we're going to locate our big hole. There's 3 holes on the end of this thing, and there's a big one, and then we have 3 fasteners, and we're going to have to remove each fastener. Now I've got my hole lined up with this first guy right here. Make sure you get him in there real good, and I'm using a big ratchet there, and I just loosen him up. Now the next fastener is going to be right about there, so now I'm going to reach in with my guy here, just going to push in there, make sure he's in there real good, and there we go. I've loosened up that guy, and then there's one more on this thing, and it makes like a perfect triangle, a very symmetrical triangle. So now I've got them all loose. I'm just going to reach for my zapper here, and I'm going to zap them all off. And we're pretty close to getting this guy all the way off. So, and there you go. That's what the fastener is actually going to look like. And it's a T55, and I'm using an extension. So we're just going to wash, rinse, and repeat 2 more times. So I'm going to go right like that, and there you go. And here in just a second, I'll show you how you're going to get this guy off once you've removed all those fasteners. Okay, the next step is very important. We're going to take a hammer, and you're going to have to hammer this guy off, and we're just going to hammer this side, and then we'll wiggle and we'll take them off. So you may want to reach up here and just make sure that caliper doesn't fall. And guys, I just completely skipped over this step here. The first thing you're going to want to do when your car is still on the ground, I can do it because I got an impact right now, but you're going to want to, you may have to remove your wheel to remove the cap, well on this car at least, to get to this thing, but you want your tire on the ground, and then you're going to take a big breaker bar and a deep well 30mm, and I'm just going to get on here and and zap them off like that. So that's why I wasn't able to get this guy off here. Yeah, so you're just gonna do that and he'll pop right off. We've also got this guy right here. We need to remember putting him back on when we're putting the new one back on. So now I'll go about showing you how to put your new wheel hub assembly on. Alright guys, so here we are. We're gonna put our new wheel hub assembly on, and I had anti-seize nearby. If you have disc brake grease or even regular grease, the idea here is we're just making it a little bit easier to slip back on there, and then your new wheel hub assembly should come with an O-ring like this. Make sure to put that on right there, and then we're gonna slip our new guy on. And it doesn't matter how the triangle matches up because it's even all the way around. So now we're just gonna slip this guy up here, we're gonna stick him up there, and we'll grab one of my fasteners here. And I also like to use anti-seize on these fasteners as well, so we'll go ahead and do that, stick it in there, just get them threaded, and I'll tell you more what you need to know here in just a second. Okay guys, so here we go. You can see I've got this one started here, and you don't want to roll them all the way down because it'll make it difficult on you here. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna kind of work them in there. You can see about how far I stuck them in there. You just want to go about that far. And again, I'm anti-seizing these fasteners here, so I'm just gonna get them in there and just get them started just a little bit there, and then I'll run with my zapper. And there we go. I've got them just about all started. So now I'll just run that guy down a little bit, and I'll switch back over here. And there we go. While I was running them down, I was pushing on the wheel hub assembly, kind of assist you in doing that thing right there. And then it makes it go in not cockeyed, it makes it going straight when you're pushing and zapping. So there we go. And then if I can, we'll get to this guy right here. And there we go. Now it's important from here on out to make sure we just kind of tighten these guys, get them snug down evenly, and then we're going to put 70 foot-pounds of torque on these fasteners. So I'm going to go ahead and run them all down, and then I'm going to show you about putting 70 foot-pounds of torque on it. Okay guys, so now I have my half-inch torque wrench, and I've set them to 70 foot-pounds. And the way you go about doing that is, if you've got a click style like this one, is you'll spin this handle right here, spins while the bar here stays stationary, and there's 0 to 10 on the handle, and then there's like 100, 110, whatever. You're gonna twist it till you get to the 70 mark, and it says 0 on 70. So once you get that, we're gonna get this guy on up here, and then we're gonna twist it until it clicks. So I'm gonna get him on here. And there you go, that's 70 foot-pounds. So then I'm just gonna do that again down here. And we're gonna make sure all of our fasteners are at 70 foot-pounds. There we go. Now I just got one more. And then I'm gonna come back to this first one and make sure it didn't loosen up while I tighten those other two. So I'm just gonna get over here, and it didn't. So there you go, 70 foot-pounds. And then basically we're just gonna throw this rotor back on. It's pretty easy. This is a pretty quick job compared to some hub assemblies. Some of you gotta press on and press off, and that is no fun. And here we go, we're just gonna set our guy right back on here. This can be a little tricky. Have to kind of wiggle them back on there. And basically the last important thing you need to know about is, after we get this guy on, is the axle nut. You want to make sure to put 145 foot-pounds. I've heard 144 and I've heard 148, so I'm just kind of in the middle of 145 foot-pounds. If you over tighten it, you will burn up your wheel hub assembly. It'll cause it to get hot and that sort of thing. So the installation, I'll show you what it looks like when we get this guy back on, because this may be difficult for some of you guys, but the rest is pretty simple here. And what I was doing there is I was just pulling back on these slide pins or these caliper bolts there, and you have to get them out of your way in order to get this caliper back on. So you're gonna do that while pushing on this guy, and there we go, we've got them back in. And then I'll just push and I'll fasten those two fasteners back in, and your caliper's all good to go. And like I was saying, 145 foot-pounds on this bolt here. And how you're gonna go about doing that is you're gonna get everything tightened back down. You can kind of run this guy and snug them down. Don't tighten them too much. in.
Good morning, guys, and I just want to remind you that to make sure not to forget that little washer thing on your axle nut thing there. And then also, if you have to pop the cap out of your wheel in order to set it down, make sure you pop that cap off before you get the car on the ground, because if you forget to do that step, you're gonna have to lift it back up and take the wheel back off to get behind that cap and pop it out in order to tighten up your axle nut. So there you go.
When you get your wheel on the ground and your lug nuts hooked up there, then while the car is setting on the ground, then you can tighten this guy without it spinning, because if I try and tighten it now, it's gonna spin on me. So remember, put everything back together, and the last thing you'll do is tighten this thing to 145 foot-pounds. So that's pretty much it. The rest is pretty simple to get back together. So I thank you guys for watching my video. That's gonna conclude today's project, and I'll see you guys next time.
Thanks for watching, guys, and don't forget to subscribe so you can catch all my new videos, which publish Mondays and Fridays at 9 a.m. Pacific Time, 10 a.m. Mountain Time, 11 a.m. Central Time, 12 p.m. Eastern Time, and I will see you then.